in wrestling history when he beat a three-time NCAA champ Spencer Lee on his way to finishing number 2 in 23. So McCrone, despite a high-ranking number 11, he's definitely got his work cut out for him and then some.
Oh, he certainly does. This is a winnable match for McCrone, and certainly Ramos is the favorite here. 19-0 on the season so far. McCrone coming in at 16-4, and deep in on a shot now.
Can't get any control out of it, but he certainly asserts himself early on.
Well, the way that leg is on the side of the body of Ramos is going to be a tough spot for McCrone to score, but Ramos showing exactly why he is ranked number 1 here, putting this in a situation now where he is in an advantageous spot, having to get past the defense of McCrone, and now it looks like he's, if he can turn those hips over, might be in a good spot to at least put McCrone in a danger spot, and there you get the first count, but not yet.
Not enough to accumulate any back points. And still the no control sign. And McCrone now trying to make a counterattack.
Well, if McCrone's going to win this match, he's going to have to win these positions. He is so dangerous on the mat. He has had trouble on his feet. Ramos has the ability to score from cleaner spots, but can also, as you can see already, in these scramble situations, doesn't panic at all.
McCrone trying to come back from a loss to number 16 ranked Dean Peterson in that Indiana match, as they call a stalemate there. And now he's on his feet, so we'll see how it goes here. And as you said, he might be more advantageous to be on the mat.
Well, 125, I mean, there are a lot of contenders at this weight class. Ramos certainly deserves his number 1 ranking right now, but there are a lot of people at this weight who feel like they can stand atop the podium at the end of the year.
He's 19-0. His last victory is his 44th ranked win when he beat number 22, Jacob Moran. Tried to get in for the shot, not able to. It's been a very even first period as we enter the final 50 seconds and counting. After a lot of action, did not result in any points accumulated.
Now, only 1 stoppage so far here in the first period. There, that stalemate when neither could finish off their offensive attempts. See if anybody tries to sprint here at the end of the period. You burn a lot of energy in those kinds of scrambles. And that's one of the things that, as a wrestler, you have to manage. You only, as you can talk about digging deep, and you can talk about finding that 110%, but there's only so much energy you have, and when you use a big chunk of it in the first period, it changes how you have to manage the rest of the match. Ticking down here, will there be a score at the end?
There is that surge, that attempt to try to put something on the board, but the period ends. Ramos has not allowed a single takedown or back point all year in accumulating his 19-0 record. So the fact that McCrone came as close as he did would be an unprecedented situation if he were to succeed.
Now, McCrone had choice here and deferred to the third period. Ramos goes neutral, just kind of showing the respect for what McCrone does on the mat. Big Ten opponents and those around NCAA wrestling have found that if you want to beat Brendan McCrone, your best chance to do it is from the neutral position. And that's, McCrone came right out and took a really good shot, got into that scramble situation, maybe trying to turn the tables a little bit. There's a good level change from Ramos and in on an ankle, and now we go back to the scramble situation. Ramos trying to keep the head on the inside of that knee to keep the pressure on it and not allow McCrone really a lot of movement.
They're really grappling down there, spending a lot of energy. Twice, Ramos was the unanimous number 1 wrestler in the nation at 125.
Now Ramos in a good spot here. McCrone trying to hold on around that waist. He's not going to be able to fend off the takedown this time.
That breaks the log jam with the 3 points now accumulated for Ramos.
Well, even in that situation there, we talked earlier about Ramos having the ability to score clean. That wasn't a clean takedown. He did have to scramble through the situation, but he initiated the shot, put himself in a good position. McCrone was playing defense for the most part in that scramble.
Now McCrone's going to have to do something that none of Ramos' opponents have been able to do all season to date in order to come back and win this match. He's certainly acquitted himself very well through the first nearly 2 periods. But now he's going to have to produce some points.
Ramos tough on top. McCrone can score from bottom. So you have to continue to try and do what you do well for Matt Ramos. Score some points here, burn some clock, take some of the starch out of the socks of McCrone from on bottom. But you also make sure that you don't hang your head. You don't put yourself in a position where McCrone can catch something and turn it into a big reversal and back points.
And he's a guy who's very capable of doing that as he struggles to his feet. Tried to roll out, but still contained in the final seconds of this period.
Crowd wants a reversal. They're not going to get it. Ramos still had the arm around the waist.
That would have been a big reversal there had he been able to get it.
Well, and the takedown took place exactly at the minute mark. So with Ramos finishing out on top, he has riding time right now, but now he's going to be on bottom, so McCrone's going to be able to break that riding time right away. Choosing top. Boy, almost got an early start there, and I think, yeah, the referee did recognize it. McCrone tried to shoot across and throw a leg in on the far side, but this is his game.
So what's McCrone's strategy now entering this third period?
You're going to try and find a cradle.
Probably does not want to let Ramos back on his feet because it's so difficult to take him down.
No, he wants this match to finish on the mat right in this position after having gotten, well, if he can get a 4-point turn, that would put him ahead. A 3-point turn with a ride out would put him ahead as well because he would hit exactly 1 minute of riding time.
Either scenario would result in this place exploding. Right now he's hanging on for dear life.
This is one of the differences between college wrestling and high school wrestling. In high school, this is a caution for potentially dangerous. And now it's going to be a stall. McCrone can't do anything here. Ramos has the arm hooked, and that's good strategy. In a situation like this, you're buying yourself a stalling call, and, oh, by the way, you're burning clock. Ramos doesn't have to escape here, doesn't have to get off the bottom. He just has to not get turned.
And right now he has a solid foundation under him, making it very difficult to affect that turn. But McCrone continues to work at it.
We've got double boots in here. And again, for McCrone, even if you get a quick 2 count, if you got 2 near fall and finish out this period, depending on tenths of a second, and I don't have access to see that tenths of a second here necessarily and how it matches up with the riding time. If you ride out the period, he should get a 1-point riding time. If he gets a 2-point turn, that would tie the match. And now, so there are 40.6 seconds remaining on the clock, and the riding time is at 20 seconds. So according to that, if McCrone finishes the period on top, he will get a riding time point, but regardless, he's going to have to get a turn here. Now looks like we got blood time for Ramos.
And then this opportunity for both wrestlers to try to gather themselves as they attend to Ramos with 40.6 seconds remaining.
Actually might be, can't tell if it's blood from McCrone or not. They're doing cleanup on Ramos right now. But in any case, you know, we've had 2 periods, a lot of which was done on the feet in scramble situations. And you know, Ramos, the #1 ranked wrestler in the country, came out on top, initiating his own shot, finishing it off for a takedown. Looked like another quick start there for McCrone, but he's starting to run out of time here, 35 seconds remaining.
It's go time for McCrone now.
There he's looking for that far side cradle. And there are very few wrestlers. There have been some over the years where you knew what was coming. You knew what the guy wanted and you just couldn't stop it. Now it's going to be a stall call on Ramos. And Ramos knows exactly what McCrone wants to do here. It's just McCrone's job to try and fight through the defense and get it done.
When you're this late, the stall maybe is to your advantage.
Oh yeah, you'll give the stall. Heck, you'd give 2 in that situation.
And time expires. So Ramos showing that he is very hard to score against, as well as being very adept at carrying the attack to his opponent. And he wins a 3-0 decision. But nevertheless, McCrone gave him everything he wanted.
Yeah, for Ramos, that was a very well-managed